Hello, lovely Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into your May reading for 2016, almost 2015 then. I'm terribly sorry I wasn't able to do your April reading, but as you may know if you've listened to some of the other videos, I've only just come out of hospital this week after spending 2 weeks incredibly ill. So I thought I'd just make it up to you by doing May 1st for you. And yeah, I really am sorry. For those of you who are returning subscribers, thank you very much for your patience and support. And for those of you who are new, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me for this reading. This month we're going to be having the Rider-Waite Tarot and the Earth Magic Oracle. And yeah, this is my altar, for those of you who don't know. This is where I do all my magical workings and also meditate on your question. If you have or if you will buy a tarot reading privately with myself, this is where you can expect me to do your work and do your basically insights into your questions and the guidance necessary. All the information, if you would like a private reading with me, is down below. Just click on the link, it'll take you directly to my readings page. And yeah, for those of you who like crystals, this is fluorite. I bought it very recently at a garden centre, and I must have known that I needed it because it's very healing stone. This is celestite for the angels, this is pyrite, and this is gosh, citrine, no, sorry, carnelian. Oh, my mind's all over the place. And this is basically for the sacral chakra and the solar plexus, which is where my operation was. So it's kind of like trying to heal me a little bit. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. Ask you to open up your intuition. And for those of you, whoa, hello. For those of you who were interested in a meditation, I will be doing that. I'm just going to start preparing and writing them up. Hopefully they'll be on the site before May, but we'll see what this week brings really. Let's see if I can get things up to date enough and catch up enough so that I'm able to do this for you. Alright, so the energy of the cards for you, Gemini, seem to be a little bit static. And they're, ooh, see? And they're coming up. Alright, so they're behaving a little bit weird. I'm just going to start putting them down. Okay. Okay. Right. There's something that's coming up for you. Let me have a look. Oh, you want it to come out. Okay. Alright. First, the moment I put this down, there was a voice in my head, and I know it sounds weird, but it said, don't be a lone wolf. You can use your instinct. Fine. Yeah, great. But don't be a lone wolf. I actually feel that you've stood up to some people recently, or you felt like you have to battle against somebody. It could be somebody who seems to be very traditional and be like, this has to be this or that, grey, sorry, black or white. And you're kind of like, well, why can't it be grey? My instinct says it's grey. There's something very intense about this card for you this month. I think also, though, it's bringing a peace. It's bringing a sense of peace. Is something that you seem to have wanted for quite some time that's actually starting to manifest a little bit. But if you're not careful, I think somebody could try and take it away from you. Now, I'm not saying that somebody's going to swoop in and remove this. It's just kind of like somebody may be slightly jealous of your achievement, or they may just start doing a bit of petty remarks and start building some walls that you can't seem to get past. So if that starts to happen, don't worry. It's just a petty thing. And I don't think it's really going to mean too much in the longer term, in the longer run. I think this is mostly going to be kind of a trial and error for you this month. There is a lot of judgment here. I do feel this is surrounded by family and the home life. I don't see this as being career, although there is a little bit of finance for you. There does seem to be mostly a need for solid foundations. Your finances are fine. Even if you think, oh, how am I going to pay the bill? Don't worry about it. That's not the main priority that the Spirit wants you to and I don't use that word often, but they wanted me to say that Spirit want you to use. They don't want you to focus too much on the monetary skills. You've got enough to give to people. You've got enough to provide for people. Like here, you will be provided for if you just trust in the universe. Now, if you don't really know about the universe or whatever, go to my recent weekly reading, the Universal Energies reading for the 18th of April, and listen to a little bit of the end. I can't remember what time, but it's basically my experience with the universe recently. It wants to provide for you. The universe loves you, so you must love the universe and help it as it helps you. Because basically recently it saved my life. Because I obeyed the signals, which is why I was in hospital and everything. So just try and base your understanding of it. It's not just serendipity that's coming in here for you, Gemini. There's a lot of giving. People may be overly generous and you may have a suspicion of them. People may be like, oh, come on, you know, like why don't you come into the fold? And suddenly you're hot ticket number one. And that could set you on edge a little bit in your suspicions. But I think for the most part, you're going to be kind of nice and bright and have a good time and a good way about it. I mean, for those of you who are born in May, I have to say that this is a very strong indication that you are going to get quite a big celebration or something there's a kind of a justification or a reward coming in here for you that I do believe is really going to just be, it's a nice feeling. I do get a little bit of travel around this time, so the second, third week of May I get a little bit of travel. Please be careful if you do travel, because Mercury is in retrograde. So maybe there could be delays, there could be some kind of issues around that time. Just make sure that there's a little bit of space and leniency when it comes to any of your plans that you may have. But this is definitely something to do with the family home and trying to establish a foundation or strength with that. Somebody's just... Alright. Somebody's just telling me about a sister. There's something to do with a sister or a sister-like person. Or your partner's sister or something like that. But there's something to do with a female in the family. I'm going to say sister. It may not be, but I feel as though it's sisterly. You may have to be a support for them, or there may be something, an issue coming around them, but there's going to be a lot of family interaction around the late May. I would say late May, because it does seem to be a lot of intensity here. Celebration, yeah. I think there's going to be some kind of, almost like May Day parades, you know, and what is it that we have here? The Garden Queens or the Rose Queens. The May Queens, I can't remember. But there's a lot of tradition coming in here. And a lot of being stable and stability coming in too. That you can really celebrate that. The Judgment card just means that from that you wake up. You're called into action, and I think that you start to see what it is you want to achieve throughout your entire life, potentially. I feel that there's a lot of things that maybe you've kind of been blind to in the past. Not to say that's a bad thing, but maybe you were too distracted by other things. And now you can wake up and go, oh, okay, I realise now that this is what I really want to do, and this is what I really want to go, and or this is something else that I want to try. Or this person actually has been so much of a good friend, or so better than a good friend, how can I reward them? I think there's that kind of thing that's coming through, and I also feel it could go back to you too. I think that your good work is now being rewarded, or is going to be rewarded this end of May, beginning of June time, because there's a lot of solar return coming back for you. You're approaching your birthday. There's a solar return coming in. Now, if you're Gemini Ascendant or Gemini Moon, then it's just as powerful. But I think that this is mainly for the people who are born with the Sun in Gemini, because it's a lot of solar return energy here. You're going to have a circular awakening for this next year, of your life. Just weird thing, maybe to do with the drawing, but I have no idea how that guy can put his neck back. So look at that. That is beyond human anatomy, surely. Sorry. I just got really distracted by that. You know, these cards pick out different things every time I look at them. And that just seemed... Okay, with this one, they seem to be saying, don't bend so far backwards to please people. Don't do what this guy's doing. He's almost breaking his neck. Please, be nice to yourself. You can get rewards from people, but don't do that, you know. Then he would need the hospital. Just, I think it's kind of saying there's an awakening, you are going to get a reward, but yeah, don't bend over backwards. You are going to need to have structure here, but don't do it for the sake of, God, I've got to do backflips for this person to thank them for what they've done for me. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Yeah, that's all they have to say about that. But this wolf, they're saying don't be alone. Trust your instincts, but don't be alone in your instincts. You may feel a little bit like you're shoved out to the side, or no one's going to share my opinion. Well, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. But don't feel like you have to go all on your own. Try and include some people in your inner circle, in your inner thoughts. Try and blend them in. You might be surprised by the reaction that you get, because not everything has to be handled alone. I think that's quite succinct. I think that's what they wanted me to tell you. I'm not getting any more chatter, so there's just a little bit of, I'm not sure who that one is, but I'm sure that you'll let me know once you figure it out. In the meantime, do take care of yourself. Again, this is very much a general reading for the energies coming through for Gemini, but if it is a personal guidance reading that you'd like from me, just head to the link below. I'd be more than happy to do a reading for you. Let me know how things go, as always. You can follow me on Twitter or Facebook, and thanks for everybody who's supported me, who's donated, who's done Patreon, and for the constant stream of readings. I really appreciate that too, because it really does allow me to invest in this channel, and it just, I mean, yeah, if I wasn't doing tarot readings right now, I'd probably be sitting in bed just moping with, you know, gut ache or something like that from this operation. So it's absolutely wonderful that I have this ability to read for you. And I noticed that there's 5,000 subscribers. I will be doing something for that. But in the meantime, I hope you have a very pleasant May, and I look forward to reading for you in June.